This is your girl, Robin Ayers, with Text, Sex, and Checks. Tonight, this is a big one, actually. I've talked to a lot of my girlfriends, and we all have different perspectives on the subject of men and money. And specifically, what are the rules for asking men who you're dating for money or gifts or whatever? And then there's just so many people talking about it these days. But personally, I've never really been the type to ask anybody for any money, specifically because I don't know, I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to form my lips to ask anybody for anything. I think it has more to do with the fact that I never wanted to come off like I couldn't take care of myself. And that's prideful. Yeah, it's prideful. But I don't know, it's brought me to this place of not being comfortable. And I don't know if anybody else is like that, you know? Something that I struggle with, but again, I'm looking forward to you hearing the conversations that I have with my friends. And so I'm definitely I'm very, very excited for you guys to join me on this one. So I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Don't you go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
So who better to have this conversation with than a few of my closest friends? Please welcome Anna, Jamie, Ameneh, and Bonita.
Ladies, welcome in. Hi, how are you? All right, so here's the thing. I recently, I've had this conversation many times before, but it came up again because you guys know the comedian Little Rel. I don't know if you know him. Okay. He was on an Instagram live where he was saying that he was like, you know, I like dating and all of that stuff. And I like, you know, taking care of the woman, like taking her out to dinner and even flying her to where I am, different things like that. But the minute she starts asking me for something like pay a bill or, you know, some money or a gift or something, that turns him off. He was like, nah, I don't like that. And he's not the first. You know, there have been plenty of guys talking about this and, you know, for a long time. Tory Lanez, actually, I wanted to pull something up specifically about what he said. And then I want to hear from your perspective and what you think about it. So what Tory Lanez said was, he said in an interview with Madamenoire, he said, women should not ask for gifts that they can't afford themselves. So men have all kinds of things to say about it, but I'm curious, Anna, let's start with you because you're looking like you're ready. Yeah, you're ready to go. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay. No, I mean, okay, I understand. I can try to understand from a man's point of view, more because of the way society is right now with, you know, I'm saying millennials or young women who are out there to try to get stuff from men. I get that. But for someone like me who's not like that, I'm you know, 40, so I'm not like that. I'm more traditional, but I do still have some type of expectation when it comes to money and dating me. I don't require it necessarily. It's not like a requirement, like if you don't, then no. But I think there still should be some level of expectation.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's fair. Okay, what about you other ladies? What do you think about that?
I think it's two-sided. It's very hard for me to accept gifts, but sidebar, isn't a gift supposed to be something you wouldn't normally get yourself?
Ooh!
Get yourself
bars.
If you buy it for yourself, then it's not a gift.
Yeah,
right. That part.
I don't know about that.
That's I've never heard that said like that, Jimmy. But that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's not a gift. I got it
let's
myself.
Just say,
thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just say money specifically. Like, is asking for money okay? Should there be some sort of expectation? Like, listen, we're casually dating. You see, you know, my life. Sometimes you might be struggling with something or whatever. Should he, you know, offer to like help you out?
I think it's okay to help somebody out. I have a hard time asking people for stuff. So when somebody does, I think it means more when they do it without me having to ask. If I ask you, you did it because I asked you to do it. If you did it on your own, that means way more, because it means that you wanted to. It comes from a different place. I don't think anything in a relationship, I don't think you need to ask you for it. Men or women, I feel like it's not genuine if you ask for it. Like if you see me struggling for whatever it is, and you can, because a lot of people can't, but if you can and you do it, it means different. A gift, money, even time spent. Like you go somewhere, you see somebody going through something and you offer your time without them having to ask you. I think that's more valuable than me saying, hey, can you come spend some time, or can you do this for me?
Yeah, okay.
That makes it a gift.
I think that, and this probably applies for all of us, being an independent woman, right? Sometimes prideful, I'm raising my hand, okay? I don't like for people to see that I'm struggling. So a lot of times the dudes I deal with don't think I'm struggling. They think I got it together. They think I'm a single mother. I'm working. I'm paying my, they see a certain perspective. And because I don't want to seem like I'm needy, they won't know. So I've been in a position where I actually did have to ask before. And so, which is very humbling.
Yeah. Yes.
Again, pride. But so I think sometimes they don't know. So sometimes you may have to ask, because they won't know to say, hey, you need help, when they think you got it all together.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you asked? Say it again, Jamie.
I don't like the ask. I feel like if we hang around each other enough, you know me, and if you want to do something for someone, just do it.
Just do it. Because most men that I feel like most men would say, let me offer first. But then the flip side of that is, okay, definitely I hear that, but what if you're not offering when homegirl need it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not offering. So then should she then be like, okay, well, he's taking his sweet time. Can I? And then she asks, but then that looks like it's a turn off for the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's okay to put, I think it's okay to put out there for a guy. And just little things. It's like tests, if you go to the supermarket and he like offers to buy something, it's like, okay, like, thank you. But then you're going to dinner and he's like, paying, or just like other little things that, you pull up to the gas station. He's like, no, I got it. I'll pump your gas and I'll pay it for you. I think that it's okay to put out little feelers to kind of figure out like who you're dating. And with those instances, like if he's not willing to like come out of pocket for anything in any circumstances, and he's hanging around with you 24/7, then you pretty much know you got a cheapskate.
Fair. All is fair. Okay, but what about us? What role do we play as women, for the men that we casually date? Like, because even if you're not in a serious relationship with the guy, you guys are casual, everything is cool, you have great conversations, you kick it, everything is fine, you go on your dates here and there. Are we still expecting something? And then should he even expect in return? Like, what is our role there?
I think it's a give and take. I think if you're in a relationship and you're in a mutual grown relationship where you have spent some time, he is in your life, not casually dating or somebody, something that's new. I think it's a give and take. He does a little bit for you, you do a little bit for him, and that's what makes it a relationship. Otherwise, you're financing me or I'm financing you. I think it takes a different aspect.
Well, casually, I don't expect anything from a guy, because I just really don't have any expectations from a man. Casually dating, you can just kind of see where it goes. You kind of enjoy it, have fun. I don't really have personally any expectations financially, since we're talking about finances, from a man, unless and until we're at a more serious level. Like, you coming in my house, you met my kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, got, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a certain level is where I then would kind of have some type of expectation, because then you're open to my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I let you in. So you should, by, looking, seeing, and, being attentive, know where my needs are.
That's a good point, because you also made a great point, Anna, because you know, that whole independent looking, you know, like I look like I got it going on, and I, you know, and you take care of yourself and stuff like that, and people view you from afar that like, oh, you don't need anything.
A lot of girls date guys based on how much money they have or what they have, or they, you know what I mean, financially what they can offer. So it might not be written in the song, but there are a lot of good guys, I think, that might not be financially like buku, but at the same time they being looked over because girls nowadays, well, I don't know if it's nowadays, I think it's always been, but there are a lot of women who look for certain type of guy with certain financial standards, and that's, you know, that's what they want. So I mean, well, I think it's more acceptable for guys to say it, but I think it's been like that for women for a long time too.
I think it goes both ways. I've been a sponsor before, not willingly. It just ended up that way. And I would never do that again. But that's why I think it's hard for me to ask, because I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm just trying to take from them.
All right, who was I talking to before where we were talking about learning? Jamie, maybe it was you, where we were talking about we're kind of raised to be polite. Is that true? Like, yeah. I mean, I know for me, I don't know if I was raised to be polite or not, but I think just like in general, that's one of those things, like you don't necessarily don't ask for things like that. So I find it really hard to open my mouth and ask for anything. I don't know what that is in me. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It's just what the truth is. Yeah. So, and then I'm actually more like you, Jamie, where I'm a giver, and I hate that sometimes because I give and give and give, and then I let you off the hook giving me anything. Like I let you off the hook. It's just how
because you don't expect. Yeah.
That's why it's so important for when you are a giver to someone want to do the same thing for you, and you not have to ask. Because I anticipate people's needs that I'm dating. I would like you to do the same thing for me. Or like, I think we talked about it, like when the bill comes. Like if you want to pay the bill, you pay the bill. Don't act like you're fake reaching, because then if he really wants to pay it, he'll pay it. And if I really want to pay it, I'll take it.
Yeah, I've had somebody faking, but I think what's worse than not paying is somebody saying, and I'm not talking about the bill at dinner, but just anything. Like if you see me struggling for whatever, and you're like, oh, don't worry about it. I got it. And then it's nothing said about it. And then now I'm like, are you going to do it? Yeah. Do I now have to ask? Like, hey, remember that? No, that's even worse. That's now I know I can't even count on your word anymore. Yeah, that's
true. Actually, that's very true. Like people who say I'm going to do something for you, and then they don't wind up doing it, and it's like you're in that situation where you're like, do I have to add, like you're twiddling your thumbs? Do I
just don't ask, and I just don't deal with them no more.
You just cut them off? It's that easy. Just cut them off.
Precisely, yeah.
Based on,
I mean, what if it's a good person? What if they're great in every way? They just, you know.
That's what I want to know. I want to know, like, what does it outweigh? Like, you know, if you don't give me things, or if you don't give me.
You don't want to deal with someone like a business. So, like, if you tell me you're going to do something, okay, I could send you a Venmo request. Remember?
Send me an invoice.
But, like, if I have to do that just takes the gesture away from me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's me asking and not you doing because you wanted to. Now I have to ask. I have to be in that position. I don't. Fuck that. No. Sorry.
And cut them off.
and like Anna said, cut them off. That's what comes next, right, Anna?
I mean, you know, it's one thing if they're consistently like that. I've done it. I've done it before. I've cut somebody off before when they told me they were going to do something and didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to, like you, Ameneh, you said, you don't feel like you need to ask them. I wasn't going to ask again.
Yeah.
So, you know, just keep your word. I'm a person about keeping your word. You know what I mean? So.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, but are we having a conversation with the reason why he didn't come through? Because I would be curious to know why.
Yes. And the funny thing is that, yes, I pulled his card. Yes, I sure did. And he really couldn't say nothing. He was like, well, you know, I was going to do it. Okay.
Well, see, then that is a cutoff. See, because like, if my baby didn't get paid that night, that time, or he had to loan money to his mama or something
like that,
I could work with that. But if it's like, if it's like, oh, I don't know, and my words is in my mouth, and you know what?
But do you go back and ask?
Hell no, I did not.
Oh, Fabiola.
It came up later, and I pulled his card later. But
yeah, but that's a hard thing. Like, now you're getting cut off because you didn't pay my bill.
No, it's not that. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not about the money.
Oh, that's
for this particular person, for this particular person, it was more than money. It wasn't even the money. It was inconsistency. You know what I'm saying? So that was just one of the situations pertaining to money.
For me, it's hard to believe people actually forget, because men will remember every game at every time.
We don't forget. They're hoping you forget.
Right. No, he was the type of dude, because we've had plenty of conversations about money. He had money. He got burned with his last girl. He was taking care of her. Blah 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 blah. He got burned. Then I said, I'm not her. Right. And he knew that, and he would say, "Yeah, you're right. You're not her. You're okay. Yet I'm still paying for that." So he wasn't real free with his money after that situation happened.
So I mean, okay. So let's define something real fast, because I don't know. I think that there's this perception. We both have two different perceptions, like women and men, but the truth is, I think for women, it's not necessarily the money itself. I don't think that money is the thing that we're after. I don't think that we need you. Because let's be clear, every single of these baddies on here are self-sufficient, taking care of themselves. Everybody in here is just amazing like that. But the money is, to me, what it signifies when we like, in terms of a man having it, is the fact that he was able to get money. So when men have this money, I think that that's the attraction that we have to men, or like to men who have a certain amount, or maybe even not a certain amount, but he's stable, he can take care of himself. It's just the fact that it's a security thing. Do you guys agree with that? Because I don't think that we're looking at men like, I need to get something from him or whatever, because everybody on here can take care of themselves. Right.
Although there are women that are looking just for their money. And I think, again, that goes back to what I was saying before. I feel like that's why some of the men now are saying that they don't want to take care of women, because there's women that expect them to take care of them. Right?
Yeah, it's hard. I think it's more going to be different perspectives. We're probably forever going to have gold diggers, and we're probably going to forever have guys who are like, I don't want to give you anything unless we are either like girlfriend, boyfriend for real, or engaged, married, or whatever. I feel like that's when the guy really like locks it down, and he's like, all right, I'll give you whatever you want.
If successful relationships are give and takes, be it money, being gesture, gifts, things that you do, I think it's supposed to be both ways.
Okay, so Ameneh she ain't asking for nothing. Next. She not gonna ask.
Hey, I'm not asking. You're just supposed to do it.
You're supposed to just give it. Ask. All right, and if he don't give it, you still not asking. All right, next.
Right, what you gonna say? I'm not asking either. But I just can't.
We'll be together forever. I'm just not asking.
I need someone to pay attention. I think I am an amazing partner, and I'm a giver, and I need someone to do the same.
Thank you. Pay attention. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I need to know. So therefore, I'm going to ask. There's no other way of knowing if I do not ask. I need to know, what is your financial stability?
Fabi, is that something you ask on a first date? Do you go ahead?
I kind of know somewhat. I kind of have, like I said, I have some feelers. I look at how the guy, presents himself. I look at the way he talks. I look at the way, he treats me. I look at his manners. I look at the way he's, he asks him questions about his background. I kind of have like more or less an idea where he works. Things like this will kind of like let me know if somebody's like somewhat financially stable, but then you ultimately know when you have like with time. But in the beginning, yes, I kind of, feel somebody out because I want to know that provides me with stability. So if I don't kind of like have that feeling or that reassurance in the beginning, it's going to be very hard for him to keep my attention. Because
what if he's like,
man has a plan?
But what if he's like buku rich and has a whole bunch of money? He's just casual, sweatshirt, shorts, and flip flops, and you would never know he had money. But
look at his watch.
Would he buy a
But I won't necessarily. I don't necessarily feel that I look at a man's clothes and I know that automatically he has money. Like I said, it's other things. It's the way he presents himself. It's the way he works. When I ask him questions, those first date 21 questions, that kind of gives you somewhat of an idea. And yeah, you may not know the very first date, but you'll definitely know by the end of the week if this man has money or not, or at least some kind of security. Like you ask him about stocks, you ask him about his 401k, you ask him, hey, where should I invest in? And he's looking at you like, invest in what? What's a 401k?
That is a very hard date.
At that point, I know that that's the end of our union, So anyway, I'm gonna know.
That's the end of it.
Is it a date or is it an interview?
It's definitely an interview. Everybody that says it's not an interview is lying. Oh, that's the problem. You don't treat it like an interview when you should.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good point. You kind of know what you're working with.
You have to.
I have gone on a date with somebody who spent like money and paid for everything, couple of dates, and then ended up having like basically no money, paycheck to paycheck, like nothing. So people can put up a front and tell you anything that you want to know at the beginning. I think time.
But in regards to that, I don't even think it's about. I personally, yes, if you have money, I think that that's a bonus because again, it signifies that there's a security there. But I'm not even after the money like that. For me, the point is, what do you do with what you have? Or do you still treat me as though I'm a priority with what you have? Mm-hmm. To me, that's because you could have $20 in your pocket, but see that I'm hungry and be like, okay, let me spend, 10, 15 on you. Like, to me, that's what really matters.
So it's kind of like that whole idea in church. I'm sorry to bring church into this, but when you give your money, tithe, offer, they say your heart is where where you put your money to. So you give, that's what you value, you give to that. You know what I'm saying? So is that how you guys feel? Like if they give things to you, gifts, money, do you feel like they value you more because they're gifting you or providing for you? Do you think if they don't provide for you,
I don't think knowing whether someone cares about you or not or loves you depends on the gift giving. I think it's a nice bonus.
I agree,
but it's not necessarily my indicator of where they're at.
The reason I bring that up is because I recently had a conversation with a couple of girlfriends, and one of the ladies, gift giving was like a love language for her. Like if they didn't give her gifts, she didn't feel like she was appreciated. You feel me? So time didn't really mean anything to her. It was if you gave me a rose, if you gave me a card, if you gave me a gift, she felt love. So I didn't know, some people are different. I just wanted to know what you guys thought.
I think it's really about like being attentive and like, so if we're having a conversation one time and I'm like, I woke up late this morning because my alarm clock broke, I was late and it's just a part of the conversation. If the next time I see him, he has a little baby alarm clock, that's so sweet to me. That's really sweet because you
have an Amazon package that's an alarm clock.
Or he calls you the next day at 7:00 in the morning to make sure you're awake.
That's good.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Yeah,
that's sweet. I like that.
Yeah, but just being attentive.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I think my issue is not even that I can't ask. I think most people that I've dated would absolutely help me or give me whatever I ask for. I don't ask.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to ask. It's just too uncomfortable.
Yeah. And they don't ever offer?
But somebody can offer you something, and if you don't have it in you to ask, it's kind of hard to take. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like you can offer, but I'm not used to taking things, so it's just uncomfortable for me. Not that I don't want it, but it's just uncomfortable taking it. So I think it's in that situation, it's kind of weird too.
That's how I am. I find it really hard. It's just, I don't know. It's just a weird quirky thing, but I do feel like that's what men should take away. The fact that sometimes it's not, they say wait till I offer or wait to, whatever, but it's not that easy sometimes.
You can go ahead and ask. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to find out. Is just go ahead and ask.
Exactly. I agree. I'm with you.
And it can be small things. It doesn't even have to be monetary, though.
Yeah.
Monetary, but if that's what you're in need of, then I don't think you're not going to know otherwise, like who you have in your corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy like that. Like, I just want to know who I have in my corner, and I need help on this.
Yeah. Exactly. For real.
Let her step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you find yourself in a situation and you're so busy, like not wanting to ask and being timid and being like, I'm Miss Independent and I don't need anything. And then
we've had these conversations.
And you can't even rely on this individual that you've been basically partner up with the past, couple weeks, couple months.
Yeah.
And you can
investments don't
and
have
ask
to be,
him. You have to.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
She's so bad.
I used to be the other way.
She is about it.
But I'm with you.
Yes.
What it is.
It's like it is what it is, straight up. You just gotta ask.
You have to know who's in your corner. You just have to ask.
My dad was my hero. Is my hero. Like he was the man of the house. He provided. He spent his money. He did for us before he did for himself. So that's always been my example. So for me, going out to dinner, like let's say all of us go out to dinner and my boyfriend's there. And for me, not expect, but I want him to pick up the bill.
For you and all your girlfriends.
Yeah.
And it's not that I expect him to, not that any of my girlfriends expect him to. That's something my dad had always done. There's been like literal fights between my dad and my uncles and stuff, who was going to pay for the bill. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's the example. I think it's something that's manly. It's a turn on. It's not that you might not be rich. I'm not saying that you have a shitload of money, but it's a gesture. It's the way that you know what I mean? It's something that you do for people around you. And it's not every time. You might not, people won't let you pay every time, but to me it's a gesture, and to me it's a turn on as a man.
Yeah.
So at the dinner during the interview, are you telling him that, hey, this is what I'm used to? Because those are the conversations you have in the interview. Or do you set him up and you get around your friends and you tell him and you look at him like, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, and it's a big blowout? But are you are you having those conversations ahead of time?
I know, but I'm a believer in time, and I think time tells everything. Not forever, not 15 years later you find out, but it's just a couple of dates later you find out what kind of person he is. So if 2 dates, 3 dates, 3 hangs out goes on, and he never does, then that's what it is. I have a hard time. There's certain things I ask a lot of questions, but there's just
but you ain't asking the right questions.
The right questions. Thank
21
you.
interview questions.
Thank you. Not the right questions. You got to ask that in the very beginning and ask like hypothetical situations.
Ugh.
What if he didn't have enough money that day and you brought 7 of your friends and y'all went to like Ruth Chris or some shit? I'm just like, right? That's a messed up situation. You got to give him a heads up on that, honey.
And there's a difference of setting an expectation.
Money out, okay? Because when girls are coming.
Yep.
No, I agree though.
I don't expect and I don't ever ask, but I think it's.
So I'm saying you can set your expectation. So like you can tell someone all the things you want, need, love, and what makes you happy. Are they listening? So like, no, I'm not going to ask you to pay for everybody. But yes, I'm going to tell you a story about my father.
Did you listen?
Yes.
Hilarious.
You paid attention when I told you that story about my dad. And the fist fight.
Well, here's my take on it. I feel like, I think it is a turn on. I think it's sexy when he just like pays for all of my friends and we're all out. But there is a certain kind of thing that like if we all go out like frequently, you know how we be rolling, like we'll go out here, go out there, and if he's there, I don't feel like he should always have. He probably would, but I don't think that and not to say
no, not all. Yeah, no, not all.
But I'm just saying, I think that there is a line that you don't cross. Like, he's not always, just because he's the only man here, or whatever.
No, not always. And I have, you guys are my girlfriends. You guys have bought drinks for the guys that I dated, or you know what I mean, vice versa. So it's always, like I said, a give and take thing. So it's not an always thing, but I think it's to me, like I said, it's a turn on. To me, I think it's manly. If they can and they do, it's appreciated.
There is something to
get 1 point.
There is something to be said about paying the bill just because you can, especially early on. I usually do it the first date.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm genuinely interested in you. Like, let's just see. I'm not trying to use the first date. Fabiola, pick up your mouth.
Wait, Jamie, you pick up the bill.
You pay your bill. You pay.
I feel attacked. I
just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I
But
do.
what does that do for you, Jamie?
What is the reason behind it? Because I know somebody who used to do that just to show that I'm that bitch.
Okay.
Not even
I don't know.
It makes me feel like I don't owe you anything. There's no expectation there. But I will say I have also been on dates where I tried to pay the bill, and I mean, affirm, everyone knows me, very aggressive. Yes, I got this. Back up off me. And they did not let it happen. So that is the type of
your side of the bill.
Huh?
What's wrong with just paying your side of the bill and saying,
that's more uncomfortable to me.
I think that's
it's more uncomfortable to me. Like, I'd rather, if I pick up the bill and you let me, I'm going to pay for the whole bill. This whole Dutch thing, and then, you know what, I'll pay for me, you pay for you. That's even more uncomfortable.
Y'all, I always find myself in these situations where if I go to lunch with like a friend that's a guy, and then I'm like, and I paid the bill, I'm like, no, I got it, and then he'll be like, all right, next time is on me. I'm like, okay, cool. And then the next time,
next time.
No, there is a next time. But if we go to lunch next time, and then he's still not necessarily like picking up the bill, then I'm like, okay, I got it, and I'll do it again. And then he's like, all right, cool, yeah, the next one is on me. I mean, even just as a friend, not as a dating partner, but just even as a friend, I find myself like Jamie, and I'll always kind of like be like, all right, because I can do it, I could pay for it. So, you know what I'm saying? That's weird.
It's a catch-22.
You shouldn't have to. And that's second time, if you paid for it again, there should be no third lunch or date or anything like that. And if there is, then hey.
Or you should, here's the out. I have the perfect out. Oh, I'll just Venmo you my half.
Do you know how many times I've been Venmo'd? Not really.
Really? You didn't ask.
It's an uncomfortable topic. It's uncomfortable. I don't know. If
you hang out with people frequently enough, it pans out. Good friends. I got it this time. You got it the next time. It is what it is. I don't like splitting up the bill. That's very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, to me.
A dude that's nice.
We're talking about men.
Yeah, men. You just.
What if you go out with your girlfriends and every time you're like, oh, I'll buy this round, you buy next round, and it's always just your round. I'm like, it never got to your round.
That's a good question, because if it's a girlfriend, if it's the girls, are you always going to be like, no, I got it, or are you comfortable telling your girls, girl, you got this next one? I mean, it's a little bit different. You can kind of boss up a little bit more when it's.
I think I can tell you.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I think I can tell you.
like Robin, I got it the last 5 times. This time it's on you. So you're gonna resolve this lifetime issue in 2 days? No,
definitely not. Definitely not. Well, ladies, I just want to thank you guys, because I know we put this together really, really fast, but y'all came on, y'all came through. You came in with your wine. I finished mine up. Did you guys finish yours?
I think I've had.
Okay. Well, hopefully you.
I'm not drinking.
Hopefully you feel good with your whatever you were drinking. And I don't know. Let me know how your next date goes.
I'm gonna need them 21 questions though. I'm gonna need those 21 questions. Okay.
Oh, you got it.
And can you write those down?
I need yes, absolutely. I will. Yes. They're behavioral questions.
I need it. Okay.
She's
not even kidding.
I need those questions.
That is perfect. Oh my gosh. I love you, ladies. I love
you guys.
Enjoy the rest of your night. And we'll talk.
Love you, girls.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.